Hello, my dear children. Today I'm going to teach you Unit 8 Internet. This lesson is in your Part 2 textbook. So, let's move to our Internet lesson. At first, what do you do on the Internet? That means, what are the advantages of Internet? Let's see. Search for information. You know, millions of people around the world are using internet for searching information. I think you also like that, to search information. Second one, watch films. Most of the people are using internet to watch films. They are downloading films and then watching. So the next one is play games. I know boys are very interested with this advantage, playing games. So the next one is also going with our entertainment purpose, listen to music. You can download millions of tracks from the internet and you can listen them. And at last I have mentioned here, communicate with others. Especially these days, we are at the home because of this curfew incident. So you can use internet to communicate with others. So these are the advantages of internet, but there are more than here. Try to find more advantages of internet. Now, before we study about internet, we have to know about a network. Network is really important. You have to understand it before we go to the internet part. So, what is a network? Network is a group of computers connected together. Now, look at this picture. This middle part is called as a hub. All the 8 laptops are connected with that hub. So, these laptops are connected each other because this is a network. In a network, every part is connected with each other. Like this picture, these laptops can share their informations, their documents easily because they are in one network. So, the definition, please read it again. Network is a group of computers connected together. Now the most important part in the lesson. Internet. What is internet? This picture is same as the previous one because internet is also a network, but it is very big, it is very large. Internet connects the whole world. So let's see. Internet is the largest network of computers around the world. Again, internet is the largest network of computers around the world. Keep these two definitions in your mind. Right. In this picture also I have mentioned the same thing. Right. Then how do we get the internet connection? No worries, it is simple. You need only 4 requirements to get the internet connection. How many requirements you need? 4 requirements. There are 4 requirements to connect the computer with the internet. Now let's see one by one. Modem. The first requirement is modem. Telephone line. Internet Service Provider, ISP. Web browser. Again, modem, telephone line, Internet Service Provider, ISP, web browser. The first one. Let's see one by one now. Modem. Modem word has prepared with two different words. The first one is modulator. Second one is demodulator. Modulator, demodulator. From the first word modulator, we are taking MO letters. From the second word demodulator, we are taking DEM letters. So this is modem. Now in this picture I have shown you different modems. The first one is a wired modem. To connect with this modem you need wires, but the second modem is like a router, so you can see two antennas are here. What do you think? Does it need wires or is it wireless? Wireless. It needs only signals. So modem allows a computer to connect and communicate with other computers. Modem is giving us the connection. Modem allows a computer to connect and communicate with the other computers. Right. The second one is telephone line. Telephone line transfers data from one computer to another computer. These telephone lines may be wired or wireless. Transfers data from one computer to another computer. You just understand these and keep the four requirements in your mind. Third one, Internet Service Provider, ISP. I think you can understand how we got that ISP word. We got it by the first letters of those three words, ISP. Right. These are the famous ISPs in Sri Lanka: Dialog, Airtel, Mobitel, Etisalat, Hutch, Sri Lanka Telecom. There are another few. Because they are providing the signals, we have to pay them. Right. Fourth one, web browser. This is an application used to locate and display web pages. There are web pages. For an example, I will tell you Facebook. So this is an application used to locate and display web pages. A web browser or simply browser is an application used to access and view websites. Now if you think Facebook, if you want to get access with that Facebook website, you should have a web browser in your laptop or in your desktop computer or in your smartphone. But if you are not having the web browser in your device, you can't get the access with any website. Now let's see. Some popular web browsers are Microsoft Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Opera, Apple Safari, Mozilla Firefox. These web browsers are using around the world, not like ISPs. ISP, Internet Service Providers, Dialog, Sri Lanka Telecom, Mobitel, those things are for our country only. The other countries have their own ISPs. But web browsers, for the whole world, there are same web browsers. Okay, now look at this picture. Can you see here? Look at my cursor. Server. This server has the all informations that we want. So these servers are giving their messages, their informations through these fiber optical cables to the ISP, Internet Service Provider. The Internet Service Provider taking them and they are providing the informations to the telephone lines to this router, that means to the modems. Then modems are giving those information to the telephone lines to our device. Our device should have the web browser to get that information. This is how simply internet is working. The people who are using the device, if a device is using the internet, it is called client. Then let's move to the next picture. It is same as the previous, but the only thing is here the satellite. So this upper part is wireless internet connection. This down part is wired internet connections. In the satellite, from the web server, they are giving signals to the satellite. Satellite is taking the signals and satellite passing the signals to the satellite dish at your home or nearby ISP service provider. Then they are providing the signals to the client computer or any device. Right. There are some special things to know in this lesson. Let's know them one by one. My dear children, there are special terms to know when you are referring internet. So they are website, IP address, domain name, web address. Website, IP address, domain name, web address. IP address. It is a network interface identification and location addressing. Now please forget this IP part and take the address. You have address to your home? Yes, it shows the location of your house. IP address is also like that. When you are using any device, if it is connected with the internet, that device has an IP address. When you are using a website, that website has an IP address. So, Facebook also has an IP address. YouTube also has an IP address. Let's move to the next one. Domain name. Domain name is also same as the IP address. Domain name is also an address. So, a domain name is the address where internet users can access your website. Now, our school also has a website, Vidura College, Colombo. That is our website. So, our website has an IP address and also a domain name. Now here we are going to know what is the difference between IP address and the domain name. IP address is a numerical one. Can you see the IP address of facebook.com? Each website has an IP address. So in here the facebook.com is the domain name, like YouTube, viduracollege.com. These are the domain names. Each domain name has the IP address. Before we get the domain name, first we are getting the IP address. But which one is better to keep in your mind? IP address or the domain name? Yes, domain name is easy to keep in your mind. So, instead of this IP address, we are using this domain name. Now, if we take youtube.com, there's another IP address. Now, the next one, web address. We are telling URL also to the web address. Let's see. To access content on the internet, the Uniform Resource Locator or URL is required, which is also known as a web address. Web address is also a address. Web address is somewhat long and somewhat complex than IP address and the domain name. So the URL, Uniform Resource Locator, keep this highlighted part in your mind. these abbreviations, they are very important. Now let's see some examples of web addresses. Look at this web address: https www.facebook.com/ and there are more. This facebook.com is a domain name, but in here there are lots of things. This is a web address. Again, Wikipedia, https wikipedia.org and youtube.com. Right. Now let's see the difference between the IP address and the web address. Look at this picture. Here the client computer is there and web browser. I'm using the Google Chrome here. So this client computer getting a service from this application server. But this client computer is getting the service from a web server. If we are taking the service from a web server, there should be a web address. If you are getting the service from the application server, there should be an IP address. This is the difference between the IP address and the web address. Think you want to log in Facebook. So in here, Facebook is the website that you want to access. First you want to type the IP address of Facebook on your web browser. But as I said previously, the IP address is difficult to keep in mind because it is numeric. So we can type the domain name of Facebook instead of typing the IP address. See here, this is my web browser, Google Chrome. I'm typing this IP address of Facebook, but it is difficult. If I miss one number, then I can't access the website. So instead of typing this IP address, I'm typing facebook.com. Then I can access to my website. Right. Now we are moving to another important part of the lesson. So it is netiquette. Netiquette. What is netiquette? Netiquette is short for internet etiquette. Internet etiquette. Let's see how it's made. We got net word from this first one and we get quet word from this one. Then we prepared netiquette. Netiquette is the set of rules about behavior that is acceptable on the internet. The first one is respect the privacy of other people while you are using the internet. Second, respect other people's online rights. Third one, do not send your picture or anything else on the internet without first checking with your parents. Don't share your personal information such as pictures or anything else on the internet without first checking with your parents. Fourth one, do not give out personal information on the internet such as your address, telephone number and parents' information without your parents' permission. The fifth one is you should inform your parents if you receive any information through internet that you makes uncomfortable. We will get some uncomfortable messages, uncomfortable pictures, but don't go to respond them and suddenly you receive those things. You have to inform your parents about that uncomfortable things. Do not respond to any message that in any way that you make uncomfortable. So those are the netiquettes. Now my dear children, please get ready with the writing book. Write down this student's note. While I'm playing this video, you can pause the video and write down the note one by one. What is a network? What is internet? If you can find the pictures, you can find pictures, or else you can draw pictures. Find the logos of these ISPs and paste them. Fourth one, web browser. This is an application used to locate and display web pages. You can find pictures or paste them in the note. Netiquette is the set of rules about behavior that is acceptable on the internet. Now, my little buddies, you can write the answers for the exercise 8 in your ICT textbook. But don't use your textbook to write the answers. Use an extra writing book.